Hey there. So today I am here in Orem, Utah. Yes, Orem, Utah. And today I'm really going to walk you through some of the pros and cons of living in this community. And we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Curla here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Utah, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you are notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, looking to relocate here in Utah, or buy or sell a home, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. So like I said, today I am here in Orem, Utah, and I'm gonna really just kind of walk you through some of the pros and cons of living here, why some people are drawn to, really to Orem, and then why maybe some people, maybe it's not the best fit for you. So number one, people are drawn here to Orem simply because of the outdoors. You can see right behind me, and you can actually hear there is a river right behind me. And you can see too, there are walking paths. There are a lot of things here to do in Orem, and really the closeness to the mountains are actually right in front of me. I'm looking at the mountains. I'll pan around here in just a second, but really just give you kind of an idea of what the mountains look like here, the proximity to them, which kind of really goes into number two, but just the beauty that is here in Orem with these, spectacular mountain views. Moving on to number two is really just the outdoor activities. If you are a fan of the outdoors, they're like many communities here in Utah, you are really, really close to an abundance of outdoor activities. If you are into skiing, well, guess what? Good luck, because right up through Provo Canyon is the Sundance Ski Resort. If you don't want to go to Sundance, you can keep on going. You can go over to Park City. You've got Deer Valley, you've got the canyons, you've got all of those. If you decide you want to go up to Salt Lake, you've got Alta and Snowbird and Brighton. You've got a bunch of different resorts there. So if you're into the outdoors, if you're into skiing, so many close things there. If you're really just you want to be outside and enjoy the parks, and that, Orem has a lot to offer for that as well. Which moves right on to number three, is the family-friendly environment that Orem has to offer. Orem really is geared for families, and really, like I said, you've got some fantastic parks that are here. You've got really a lot of paved trails for outdoor activities, and a community that feels safe, low crime, and a lot of things geared toward families here in Orem. So that's another big draw of why people are moving here. So moving right on to the next one, or simply the education system. The education system here in Orem is very good. Like I said, family friendly, but you also have a major university that is here in Orem as well, Utah Valley University. It is a 4-year college that is here. A lot of their sports programs are very competitive. So they actually kind of rival BYU, which is in Provo, a stone's throw away from Utah Valley University. So you've got you've got that education, but you also have, it's becoming more of a college town, Orem is, simply because of the university. It used to be a 2-year university, but now it is a 4-year, like I mentioned. So you've got a lot of the sports, and you've got those, the community rallying behind that. So that is another big draw here. Like I said, you've got the beauty, you've got the family friendly, the safety, you've got the proximity to the university. So that is really nice. And then speaking of proximity here in Orem, people love living here in Orem simply because if they are wanting to get to Provo, Provo is literally, like I said, a stone's throw away. Like, you're really, really close to Provo. You've got the Provo airport that is very close to Orem. You've also got the Salt Lake International Airport that is close to Orem too. You're about 30 minutes south of the Salt Lake City International Airport. And then if you are, like I said before, if you're into the outdoors, Provo Canyon, I am telling you, is 5 minutes away from where I'm shooting this video, but just right up the canyon. Winter, spring, summer, fall, every time I drive through that canyon, I'm going, this is so gorgeous. Like, this is so gorgeous. You've got these beautiful mountains on both sides. You're going through, it's just, the fall is majestic because you've got the different colors. The winter is stunning because you've got the snow-capped mountains. And then spring and summer is actually fantastic too. My kids and my husband love floating down that Provo River, and Orem is very close to that. They've got incredible trails for biking that are there too. So the proximity of where Orem is located, the education, the outdoors is really, and again, that family-friendly environment makes it a nice community for many. Some of the draws of living in Orem, and I know people are always like, okay, well, sounds like a lot of great things about living in Orem. What are some of the disadvantages? Some of the disadvantages include the traffic. Now, the traffic compared to some other places is not nearly as bad here, but because you've got two major universities, you've got Brigham Young University that's in Provo, and you've got Utah Valley University that is here in Orem. Because you've got both of those major universities, you've got a huge influx of students coming here to Orem during the school year. And so because of that influx, it creates more traffic simply because more people are here. And over the years, it's gotten, slightly worse. But here's a little pro tip though, too. I'm telling you, when the school year is finished, and yes, there are different semesters, but like the main semesters, when they're done, it feels like there's nobody here. Like, it really actually feels like there's not many people here. So traffic is a draw, is a disadvantage for some. Number two is it is highly populated by a lot of members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. People who are moving here are like, oh, am I going to fit in if I'm not Mormon? Right? But just kind of know that for many, that's a huge pro. And they're like, gosh, I love being around, maybe they are, and they love being around people of the same faith. But if you are not, it does not mean that, that is not going to be a good fit for you. Just know that going in though, that there are a lot of members. You're going to see a lot of church buildings nearby as well. And then really, like, you can see behind me too, there are a lot of people just out and about, which is so, so, so fun. Number three are the harsher winters. Yes, I mean, the harsher winters here in Orem is a disadvantage for some. When we talk about harsh winters though, really compared to like my family that lives in Minnesota, it doesn't even compare. But here in Utah, sometimes Orem has it, winter will last longer, it feels like, simply because you're so close to the mountains. But Orem winters are going to be less than you will see in Park City, less than you will see in Heber, less than you will actually see in areas that are nestled up against the mountains, outside of Salt Lake, even in Draper or on the East Bench. Winters here are going to be much more mild. But for some people, they're like, gosh, you know what? The winters are a little too harsh here in Orem, and that may be a deterrent for you. Next up, Orem tends to have a younger population than some of the surrounding cities. For some, they're like, oh, I love that. It's young and hip and whatever. Other people are like, oh, you know what? I want a little bit more, just an older population. You're going to see in certain areas here in Orem, simply because you've got the universities that are right here, which brings in an influx of a younger population. So know that going into it as well. And then if you are looking for kind of that nightlife scene, Orem may not be the best fit for you, simply because there's really not that much of a night scene. For me and my family, obviously, that's, that would not deter us one way or another. But knowing if you're looking for some big hip night scene here in Orem, you're probably not going to find that here. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of a, an idea of some of the different things you can expect if you're thinking about moving to Orem. And again, some of those pros really being so close to the mountains. You've got the proximity to not only the Provo airport, but the Salt Lake City airport. You've got the canyons that are really close by. You've got ski resorts that are close by. Again, it's going to be, tends to be a younger population here simply because of the two major universities that are here, BYU and then University of Utah. That traffic that we talked about, it gets a little bit more congested here during the, during those semesters that school's in session, simply because you've got an influx of people coming in for school. So hopefully, this gives you a little bit of an idea. And then there, like I had mentioned before, people are out and about here. People love to, use the trails. They, are hiking and biking and skiing, and it really is an outdoor sort of community. And again, a very family friendly one as well. A lot of people, sometimes when they're driving through Orem, they aren't quite sure, hey, am I in Orem or am I in Provo? Because the two are very close together. So some of even their different shopping and stuff kind of runs together because they are really, really close. But at any rate, hopefully this gives you a good idea of what it might be like to live in Orem. And if you are thinking about possibly making a move here to Orem, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. My team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. Take care and have a great one. Bye.